Hi loves, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Morgan. I make videos about luxury handbags, fashion, and lifestyle, so if that's your thing, please subscribe and turn on notifications. I upload twice a week and I would love to have you here. Today I'm getting into my Chanel mini comparison. I have seen other YouTubers do this. I know that Saki has one, so I'll link her video down below. My collection is very different from hers. My comparison will be different as well. So I'm going to go through all of the mini style bags from Chanel today. These are not technically called minis, but they're all kind of in the mini category. I kind of judged the minis from the Chanel Classic Flat Mini and anything that was in that teeny tiny mini size range. I'm going to get into the features of each bag, my buying advice for each one, what fits inside, mod shots. I'm going to rank them from best to least best. I mean, there's not really a worst, but you get the idea. So let's get into it. Let's start with the features of the bag. I'm going to just do each bag individually. Let's start with the Classic Flat Mini. This is the most classic style Chanel mini bag. It's technically a seasonal style. It's not considered part of their classic range, yet it tends to be included in all of their classic price rises. So might as well just call it a classic because they keep raising the price anyways. This one has silver hardware. It has the turn lock closure here. It is a single flap. This one is lined in leather. You have the one shoulder strap. Unlike the larger classic flaps that have the two holes in the top, this just has the one. Not as much versatility in chain length in this one. On the inside, you have one slip pocket here in the back and one zipper pocket, and that's about it. So it's just kind of a big empty space, which I think is a great use of space for a mini bag. In the back, you also have a pocket. It's really hard to see on this one, but you can fit a little something in there. One I have in the tweed fabric, comes in lambskin as well. Some other like specialty kind of fabrics occasionally, but they've stopped doing caviar, unfortunately. So if you're gonna go get one new in the store today, lambskin, leather, or tweed are the options. I personally recommend tweed. I don't really like the lambskin on these bags. I tend to see a lot of puckering around this kind of area, even new in store. Tweed does take a little more taking care of, but with a smaller bag, I think you can get a more delicate fabric. If you're interested in knowing more about taking care of tweed, I'll pop my video up here on tips for taking care of your handbags. I have a few tips for tweed in there as well, so you don't have to be afraid of tweed. I just wouldn't recommend it for your everyday bag is all. Next bag, which I think is the most similar, is the Reissue. It's known as the mini Reissue. This is in the rainbow edition. Each piece was done hand dyed, so no two pieces are exactly alike, which is what I love about this bag. I had a hunt for this bag, so I'll pop that video up here. I also run through using a personal shopper in that video. The features, you have the turn lock as well, but it's not the CC. It just says Chanel down here and it lifts up. It is also a single flap, which I really appreciate in these mini sizes. I think it's a better use of space. On the inside, it's a gold leather. Now I do have a bottom reinforcer. If you didn't know, the Reissue style was actually made to fold. This one, not as much because of the treatment of the leather, but the typical Reissue folds more, so it's just a little panel to reinforce the bottom so it doesn't fold over time, because I want mine to be that like pristine kind of condition. Coco Chanel designed this bag to be for travel where you can pack it. That's why it's supposed to completely fold flat. Not a flaw of the bag if you find one that has like creasing and folding. That is what happens, but if you don't want your Reissue bottom to sag over time, a little bottom reinforcer is a great way to do that without compromising space. It also, just like the mini, has one slip pocket and one zip pocket here, so it's a really efficient use of space. Again, this one, unlike the classic flat mini, has the two holes. You can wear this double chain or single chain, and I really love that. Reissue has a different type of chain. It's a little more of a casual chain, and typically that's kind of why I stayed away from the Reissue. I knew I always wanted one, but because as a Chanel collector, a Reissue is such a classic style that I wanted to have one. I'm glad it's the most special one, but I don't really see myself getting another one in the future. I just wanted one for my collection, and this is the perfect one. But functionality wise, if it did come in another limited color that I really loved, I would consider it again, because I love that you can use the strap both ways. It also has the pocket on the back. You can see it a little better on this one. Same size as the pocket on the classic flat mini, but it's just easier to see on this leather. Neither one have feet on the bottom, so it's just the flat bottom. I am very careful where I set this one. It's quite a delicate bag. Also with the classic Chanel quilting, so you do get some Chanel elements with it. It's just a little bit of a different style, and in solid colors, I would say this is a more casual style of Chanel bag. Next is the Coco Handle in the size small. Chanel sizing for this is a small, but people on Instagram and a lot of customers call this the mini because it is very similar in size to the mini. If you want to walk into Chanel today and ask for this bag, it is the size small. This one I really love because it has all the classic Chanel elements, but it's a little more versatile. So it has the top handle, which none of the other bags have. We love a top handle on this channel, but the best part is the strap is removable. This bag goes really well day to night because you can remove the strap and just carry it in the hand. And it's also quite elegant. You have the classic Chanel turn lock here. It again is a single flap. I just think is again a great use of space. This one is lined in a canvas though, differently from the other minis. It has a little slip pocket here in the middle, and then a little pocket in the back and a zipper pocket back here. This holds more than you would think. You have the classic Chanel pocket on the back, the classic Chanel quilting. This one is in caviar leather. The Coco handles are typically done in caviar leather, which I really love because since they don't do the classic flat mini in caviar leather anymore, if you want a mini size Chanel and you want it in caviar leather, the Coco handle is a great way to go. It has a classic Chanel woven chain leather strap. It also has this pad that goes at the top. So this is very comfortable on your shoulder. It's really more necessary for the bigger sizes, but I appreciate a shoulder pad, I really do. And the best part is it's removable. You just attach it here on the sides. I have a twilly on here right now, but you can still even get the handle on like that. And it's just a lovely ladylike style. This one is in a champagne gold hardware, so it's like a light gold. Also has 4 little feet on the bottom. I would say they're a tiny bit useless because this bag kind of comes down a little bit in the middle, but it's nice to have them there, and it makes that nice little like tap sound when you do set it down on the table. So we have the wallet on a chain. Now this is not technically called a mini bag, but it's in that mini size. Look at the classic flat mini and the Chanel wallet on a chain. It's the width that's the difference. I wanted to bring this up because there's about $1,000 difference in price. If this is more in your budget and it could fit your lifestyle, this is a really nice mini bag option that, you know, costs a little less than these other options. So it's still expensive, it's still a Chanel, but I really do think it's a great option. These are both in a caviar leather. This one is chevron and this one is quilting. They both have the tiny CCs. They both have the pockets on the back. I'll just show you the blue one inside. It has a long woven chain strap, so you get that classic Chanel element. On the inside, you have a pocket here in the front and a zip pocket. Open space here, card slots in the back, and this pocket here runs the length of the bag. Get a lot of the classic Chanel elements like the chain strap, the pocket, the quilting, the logo for about $1,000 less than the classic flat mini. So this is a fabulous option, and it holds, I would say, just about as much because you could put your cards in the card slots with this. It's deceptively roomy for a mini bag, so I wouldn't count it out. If you're looking at both, go into the store and try your things in each style and see if this one can also fit everything you need in it. Last mini bag is the Square wallet on a chain. This one is not technically called a mini bag, but I wanted to bring this up because it's similarly comparable to a Square mini classic flap. This one I really like because it has the pocket on the back. You can kind of fit your phone up and down in a pinch. If you just need to be hands-free for a second. This one is also in caviar leather with the tiny little logo. The pocket on the back is nice and big, so you can really fit quite a bit down in here. If you open it up, it has a single strap that's not detachable, and it has the shoulder pad. So you have that classic Chanel element of the woven leather chain. But what I really love about this is it's like a full accordion. It's made to fold. You can't really hurt this bag. It has card slots here and card slots here, but it's a single row. In the rectangular style, it's 2 rows of 3 card slots. This can actually hold more cards than the rectangular style. You also have this zipper pouch here in the middle. if you just want to pop some cash in there or some little small bits that might fall out. You don't want to pack it full and you want to have a slim look, that's fine, but it also kind of stretches out to fit more things. Let's go through my buying advice for each one. Along with my buying advice, I'm going to kind of give an idea of what lifestyle each one I think would fit a little more. Kind of a bit of like shopping tips along with should you buy new or should you buy pre-loved. For the Chanel Rectangular Classic Flat Mini, it's one of those that I just go like back and forth because the price new, I don't think it's worth it. But if you look at the pre-loved prices, even with the price rise, they're still quite high. You can get obscure colors that are not as popular at a bit of a discount. You can get some lambskin ones at a bit of a discount. But for like pinks or even tweeds, I recently saw this one go for $4,000 on the pre-loved market, and I paid like $800 less than that. Some Instagram sellers that are trusted, or some like when luxury YouTubers or content creators sell their bags, they usually sell at a better price. And if you know that they only buy from real stores and you buy directly from them, sometimes you can get a better price that way. But for the most part, if it's like a tweed, if it's a pink, if it's a really sought out color like the new gold one from this collection, buying it new is the way to go because a lot of those go above retail. Do I think this is worth $4,000? No. I really believe this bag should be under $3,000. I do. Like, there should be a 2 in front of the price. It's Chanel. I'm never going to expect it to be like 1,000 something. But upper 2s, I can stomach pretty easily. I might even collect them, get one a year or something. But even once it hit above 3,000, I thought it was really stretching it for this bag. My favorite bags, and I absolutely love it. But if you're gonna save up $4,000 and this is gonna be your one Chanel bag, I really think there are better options. If this wasn't so expensive, I would have multiple of these in my collection. But since the price is what it is, and I personally don't see a $4,000 value in the size and function of this bag. Next is the mini reissue. Now, solid colors, I think, take a look pre-loved. You can get usually a deal on a reissue because it's not as sought after of a style as the classic flat mini is. But one thing is for this colorway, for like a rainbow colorway or a limited edition colorway, you're gonna have to go new. I never expected, this is the most expensive bag in my collection, mostly because I had to go through a personal shopper and pay the additional fee on top of it, plus import duties to get it here to Dubai. But would I do it all over again for this bag? Yes. This is my unicorn magical bag, but I really wouldn't recommend buying a new reissue in store unless it's like your unicorn magical bag like this one was mine. Like, a solid color, I don't really see the value in. I think you can definitely get a deal pre-loved. I don't see a huge discount on this size. If you get a slightly bigger size, you can see usually more of a discount on them. I do think that it's a good idea to look pre-loved. I think this bag is perfectly suited if you have a more casual style, like in the typical solid colors. I mean, this one's loud and outrageous, I know that. This is not your minimalist's bag. Typically, this has been called the minimalist style from Chanel, if you imagine this in like a black or a solid color, because it's very understated with this lock. You don't have a big, huge logo anywhere, and the chain is a little more casual too. This is the Coco Handle Mini. I think this is honestly the best value for your money. All the classic elements of a Chanel bag, like the quilting and the turn lock, but you just get so much more functionality that this just makes so much more sense to me. They do typically go above retail price on the pre-loved market, so you want to get this in the boutique if you can. And duty-free or VAT return when you're traveling, when the world is safe to travel again, is the best way to get the best price for this bag. Next is the wallet on a chain. Now, price has gone up, and it was reported on the purse blogs that I was reading that this went up to $3,000. Someone corrected me and said that it actually went up to, the base model for it went up to $2,650. As I can't go into a US store, I'm based in Dubai and our prices are higher than the US prices anyways. It's hard for me to tell what exactly is the price, but at $2,600, I'm a little bit more okay with that buying new, but once this has a 3 in front of it, it's not worth it. You can definitely get a deal pre-loved on vintage styles, on more obscure colors. iridescents, limited editions, pinks, and Tiffany blues like this one, they tend to go above retail on the pre-loved market, or at least at retail. Two were bought before these insane price rises. I paid lower 2000s for mine. That's what I think this bag is worth, to be quite honest. I don't really see $3,000 worth of functionality in this bag. I think at that point you should start looking at either another brand, like a Saint Laurent WOC is more value for money to me personally, and I like them just as much as I like the Chanel ones. If you can get a good deal on these pre-loved, anything under, like, personally I would want to be under like 2,400, 2,300. You can get some vintage styles even less. Just be careful to read the conditions of them pre-loved. But take a look on the pre-loved market if you're open to color. If you want a very limited edition color, new is the way to go, even though it's almost at the point where I wouldn't recommend the bag anymore. With this bag, I would really recommend this if you want a very versatile supplemental piece. If you have your daily use bag and you want to try Chanel in a color, maybe you typically go for black in your wardrobe, don't want to spend classic flat money or even big Coco Handle money, this is a way to add some color into your wardrobe in a versatile way where you're not spending that kind of money, yet you still get a lot of classic Chanel elements like the logo and the quilting. I think this is really great if you want to do that, and it's also great if you want a versatile bag. If you're a minimalist, this is also a great style. It has the card slots in here. If you carry the bare essentials only with you, this is a fabulous style because it's very compartmentalized and very functional. It can keep you very organized. We have this square wallet on a chain. Now, this is not done every season. Every time I show this bag, people are like, I had no idea it existed. And I honestly didn't until the lady like brought it out from the case when I was just looking at bags in this color. And honestly, it's one of my favorite styles. It's a lot less than the square classic flat mini, which I don't like how it sits on my body. So if you don't like how that sits on your body, this is a little better because you're paying less and you get the shoulder strap, so it's easier to carry it on your shoulder. This one, again, is one that you should buy new, but it's really hard to get your hands on and it's really hard to know when they're doing one. A lot of people don't talk about this style, and I don't think Chanel does it as often because this can kind of fit just as much as my rectangular mini classic flat because it's expandable and has the two compartments. It is really a way to get so much value for your money at Chanel. If you do find them pre-loved, it's kind of a mix. I saw mine going for way above what I paid for it, but then I've seen other colors go for around like 2,000 or 2,200. And I think that's a really fair price for this bag. Like, you can find a square one today, pre-loved, around 2,200. I think that's a really fair price to pay. I have no idea what they go for in store now because I honestly haven't seen one in the store since I bought this one. I really recommend this for someone who likes to wear bags on their shoulder, who really appreciates having like a little shoulder pad on the top. If you're gonna wear this with like a tank top, this is much more comfortable than the rectangular wallet on a chain. So I just have an array of items here, and I figured we would just see how many of these can fit into each bag. We'll start with the essentials, my phone in its case. Since I've switched to the very slim wallet, I try to stick with this, and it can fit inside of here. Of course we need hand sanitizer these days, but let's see, will that close? Yeah, that still closes. And then here's my car key. We can kind of push it down in there. Listerine strips we can tuck into the pocket back here. And that's probably about it. Maybe I can fit a lipstick in the top. No, not really, it doesn't close. So to fit a lipstick, I would either have to remove the phone case or switch to a card holder. But that is what fits comfortably in the Reissue. Classic Flat Mini is kind of the same size, so it's gonna be very similar. Let's start with the phone. Pop my wallet in there. Hand sanitizer, car key, Listerine strips in the back. Let's see, can we get this? Oh, it seems to be slightly wider. I was able to get a lipstick in the corner, and that is about it for closing comfortably. We'll go for the wallet on a chain rectangular style. I'm just gonna do one of them because they fit exactly the same. I'll just remove the chain. Now I do have a base shaper in here. This just helps so the bottom doesn't sag because this is a squishy style. This helps keep the bottom just filled out and it doesn't sag over time. So I will link this in the description below. I fit my phone in the case, and that's fine because I would normally just slot the cards in here. I'm not gonna do it because, you know, it's still gonna fit with whatever I put in here. Now, if I really wanna fit other things, typically when I carry this, I just pop my phone out of its case and carry it without the case. This gives me so much more room. So let's do it that way because I wanna show you how many other things you can really fit inside of this bag if you just take that out. So yeah, so just pop these inside of here instead. It wasn't fitting very well right there, but it fits fine right there. And my little key diagonally. That's a bit too tight of a squeeze. Now I think it might actually be this hand sanitizer that's a little bit fat. Yep, that's what it is. So if you want to use a hand sanitizer in here, I would use a slightly slimmer bottle, but you can see there's plenty of room. You could fit one more small thing here and your cards in the slots with probably a little cash inside too. So this really can fit quite a bit of stuff. Last bag on the list is a square wallet on a chain. Now, I usually would just put the cards inside here. You can just kind of imagine it. They don't really make much difference in the width. So I just pop the Listerine strips in here. Phone can fit. It does stretch it just a tiny bit here, but again, these sides are made to like kind of squish, so it's not gonna really misshape in your bag. You don't need the wallet because your cards would be here and cash in the middle. So let me just show you how you can fit like pretty much everything else. A full perfume here, a compact, a lipstick, car key. This one really just, you can stretch it and it really fits quite a bit. I don't feel bad about stretching this one because I really feel that's kind of how the style is made to look. But if you don't want to keep this much, you can just kind of remove the perfume, pop your key in here, maybe remove the compact if you don't want something so thick, make it a little bit squishier, and it's not as stretched of a style. I'm going to show you how they look on. This is the Chanel Classic Flap Mini. And this one sits very comfortably on my body. For reference, I am 5'6" tall. This is my favorite way to wear the Chanel Classic Flap Mini. I also like it on the shoulder just for like popping out. It's very casual, easy to wear style, but it also dresses things up. I sit a bit low on the hip, so if you are more petite, this might hang down a little too much for you on the shoulder, but I think crossbody, pretty much any height could probably get away with this style. Next, I'll do the most similar, I think, in terms of size. I'll just show you crossbody. This one I feel does sit a little bit higher. I think this is probably the most comfortable out of the two if you're looking for one. This is the reissue on the shoulder. As you can see, it hangs just a little higher. The nice thing about the reissue is that you can double up the strap. This makes for a beautiful evening bag. It's just easy to wear. The Classic Flap Mini doesn't have the two holes where you can double it up and wear it like this, so this is actually a bit more versatile. You can also like kind of hang it on the crook of your arm like this. You get a little more functionality out of it. I find to be one of the easier mini bags from Chanel to wear. Next is the small Coco Handle. So this one also has the shoulder strap. The difference with this one is the shoulder strap is removable. So it sits a bit higher on the hip. I really recommend getting a little bit of a handle extender. I will link one below because crossbody, yeah, you would have to be super petite. Like, this is really uncomfortable crossbody, but just so you see it, here it is. Because it doesn't look great crossbody, at least they gave us the top handle. It looks so cute and dainty on the arm. I really recommend either getting that lengthener for the strap or putting it on your shoulder like this if you want to wear it with the strap. If you're gonna carry it in the hand, honestly, just remove the strap completely because it just looks so nice and clean without it. Next is the wallet on a chain. Now this also just has the one long strap. Some people say they find this strap too long, which I can understand. Being 5'6", this does hang down quite a bit. Not too much more than the classic flap, but a little bit more. I do have a comparison of the mini versus the wallet on a chain if you want really in detail side by side kind of look at the lengths, but I personally like this. If you're taller, I really recommend this one as well. This is one of those, it's quite easy to wear as a clutch style, but here is the crossbody. I personally don't really wear this on the shoulder because it doesn't have a shoulder pad and the strap to this is quite skinny and it kind of rolls off. But you can see it's quite a long drop, like it's very down on my hip. And if you are more petite, wearing this on the shoulder would really not be an option for you at all. I think that modifying this by just taking a ribbon and tying it inside can give it a completely different length depending on your height. So I wouldn't really rule out this style for you if you feel like the chain is too long. There are some things you can do to just take a small little ribbon and modify it. And last we have the square wallet on a chain. I also love this one because it has a shoulder pad. So this one, and this is the reason why I don't have this square mini classic flap, because I feel like when I wear this crossbody, there's just something about the way that it sits off of my body that you can wear it crossbody like this, but when I put it to the front, it kind of like, I don't know if you can see, it just kind of lifts off in a very funny way. So for my height in particular, I don't find this very flattering this way, but because it has a shoulder strap, I do find that mostly I wear it like this on the shoulder. It's very comfortable this way, and I really like to wear it here. So this is a really cool option that has a little bit more space if you're looking for that like wallet on a chain style, but the chain might be a bit too long for you. This one is a tad bit shorter. I also have a comparison with this and the rectangular wallet on a chain, so you can check that video out up here. Ranking the styles, actually I think I'm gonna go from my least favorite to my favorite. My least favorite, though I still love this bag and I would buy it again, is the square wallet on a chain. This is only because I don't like how it looks crossbody. If I liked how this bag looked in every single way I could wear it, then it would be definitely higher on the list, probably higher than the rectangle, because you can fit so much more in this bag that I think it's quite useful. But yeah, I think this is probably my least favorite out of the mini bags. So the wallet on a chains are getting what seems to be like a bad rap in this video, but again, I have 2 of these, so that tells you how much I love it. It's not that I don't like any of these bags, I'm just ranking them in terms of if you're gonna get just one mini bag, my favorite is gonna be also my best recommendation for a mini bag. I think this is a great Chanel starter piece. I recommend it in my Chanel buying guide as one of my choices as a first Chanel bag, because I really think that you get the Chanel look. For Chanel, it is considered an entry-level price point, I should say. I do think that you get a lot of different functions for your money out of this bag. You can get all of your essentials packed into this bag so you can run errands. Also looks beautiful in the evening, and it's a great weekend bag too when you just want to be hands-free. Going shopping on the weekends or out to brunch or something like that, you know, when the world is normal. This is a great little runaround bag that's cute. It pulls your outfit together. It's also a great piece that if you want to add a little bit of color from Chanel and you don't have the most colorful wardrobe, this is a great piece to look at versus going for a more large, expensive piece. So I really think that this has a place in any collection, but it is 4th on my list. Here's where it gets a little tricky, because this is probably my favorite mini bag in my collection because of the colorway. But in terms of the style, I would rank it 3rd on my list, and that is the Reissue. Let me just say this, if I had to give up every other mini bag in my collection, I would just keep this. But I tried to consider, I was looking to get one mini bag in my collection, would this be my first choice? And I have to say, probably not, only because it doesn't have the CC logo, and I know a lot of people want to go for that classic Chanel CC logo. You do have the classic Chanel quilting, so you get elements of Chanel. This is a very old style of lock as well from Chanel. It's been around many years for the brand, but I think if you're just looking to buy one mini bag, maybe this doesn't give enough Chanel to shell out the price point. So it is my favorite mini bag in my collection, but it's not my #1 recommendation. 2nd and 1st are so hard, like they're equally as good, but I have to say that second on my list is the Classic Flap Mini, and that's only because they continue to get more and more expensive, and I don't find them as versatile as my #1 choice. If you would have asked me, you know, even 2 years back, 3 years back, this would have been #1 because this is just so classic Chanel, and it used to be where it was like at a price point where you got the feeling of a medium classic flap or something like that at a much lower price point. But now that this bag is around $4,000, I wouldn't pay it. I just wouldn't. Something about a 4 or, you know, a 4, like a upper 3 price point on this bag, talking US dollars, that I just don't feel it's worth it. In Chanel, you can go for a medium Coco Handle for just a little bit more than what this costs now, and you get a full daily size bag. So I just don't see the value in this anymore, but I would never sell this. If the price point was lower, I would probably have like 10 of them because I'm obsessed with them. I would definitely be a collector of these if they still did the caviar. Because they don't do caviar anymore, and because the price point has gotten so high, it had to be #2. I will say, if you can't afford to have one of these in your collection, it's so classic Chanel and you won't regret it. It's one of my favorite bags in my collection. #1 is the Coco Handle Small. I think this is just the best value for money. It's the most versatile out of all the mini bags. You know, just with a tiny extender on the chain, you can even have this comfortably as a crossbody. So you really can't go wrong with this. You get the classic Chanel elements, you get the turn lock, you get the quilting, you get the back pocket, and you get more space for your money. I really feel this is the way to go if you want a mini bag from Chanel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you have any questions about the bags, leave them in the comments below, and please give this video a like if you did enjoy it. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram to see how I style my bags, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!